Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on, well, what is probably the absolute bedrock of digital security.
That's right. We're talking about implementing a professional password management system for your small business.
Our mission here is pretty simple: to give you, the New Brunswick business owner, a clear guide on why this tool isn't optional anymore.
And how that CyberSecure NB grant basically removes all the financial risk of getting it done right now.
And we are your AI hosts, specializing in cybersecurity education. We're trained on the most up-to-date best practices, with expertise and sources all curated by ClavardIA.
That's pronounced ClavardIA. We're here to cut through the noise and just show you how to build that digital resilience.
So before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's set the scene a little bit, give some local context. If you're operating in the Bell Bay region, there's a pretty good chance you've already seen the gray ClavardIA minivan driving around.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss once you've seen it once. It's got the ClavardIA branding, talks about cybersecurity, automation, chatbots.
And that big sticker, right? The one that really catches your eye.
Exactly. The one that says CBDC free cybersecurity, $3,000 refunded. It's designed to be clean and professional, to let you know there's a government-funded program available.
It's a great little reminder. But, we should be clear. While Bell Bay is home base.
Right. ClavardIA supports businesses across all of New Brunswick. This conversation is for everyone in the province.
And it's important to understand the experience behind all this.
It is. ClavardIA was founded by Remy, an IT professional with, over 25 years of experience in provincial and federal government environments.
And right now, Remy is a team leader in enterprise operations for the Government of Canada, overseeing these massive IT operations.
Yeah, things like deploying patches across, 50,000 different devices. That's the kind of high-volume operational experience being brought to small businesses.
That's serious expertise. And one last point, while that sticker really highlights cybersecurity, the scope is broader.
It is. ClavardIA also integrates automation and chatbots to help businesses cut down on that repetitive admin work, improve customer service.
And just modernize their operations safely. It's about being secure and efficient.
Okay, so let's unpack the urgency. Why is this conversation so important today? We hear it all the time from small business owners. Oh, we're too small to be a target.
But the stats just don't back that up at all, do they?
Not even close. The sources we've analyzed show that 43% of all cyber attacks target small businesses.
43%. So they're not going after the big banks because they're too hard. They're going after
the low-hanging fruit. It's just a numbers game for them. They're looking for the easy win.
And the risk here, it's not just about a small financial hit. We're talking about something much more serious.
It's an existential threat. Our research shows that 60% of small businesses that suffer a major cyber attack.
So one that really disrupts things or loses data.
Exactly. 60% of them go out of business permanently within 6 months.
Wow. 6 months. Why so fast? What's the killer?
It's the recovery cost. It's the legal fees, the lost customer trust, the reputational damage, just the sheer cost of trying to get your data back.
They just don't have the cash reserves or the dedicated IT teams that a big corporation has to weather that storm.
The disruption is just fatal.
And when you dig into how these attacks actually happen, the cause is, it's almost embarrassingly simple most of the time.
It really is. 30% of all small business data breaches happen because of stolen credentials. It all comes down to weak and reused passwords.
So things like credential stuffing, where they just take leaked passwords from one site and try them everywhere else.
Precisely. And the machines they use can crack simple passwords in seconds. If you're using 123456 or password or admin, you've essentially left the front door wide open with a welcome mat.
And this is where the current threat landscape gets a lot scarier. AI is supercharging these attacks.
It really is. It allows criminals to create much more believable, personalized phishing emails at a massive scale. AI just makes that human vulnerability, that weak password, an even bigger advantage for them.
Okay, but the good news is that the solution is out there.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly affordable and incredibly powerful.
The professional password manager.
So let's define that. For a small business owner who's maybe heard the term but isn't sure, what is it exactly?
Think of it as a highly secure digital vault or a digital keychain. It solves what we call password fatigue.
The feeling of having to remember dozens of different complex passwords.
Yeah, you don't have to. The manager generates unique, super strong, 20-character random passwords for every single site. It stores them and it fills them in for you automatically.
But that brings up the big question, the one we always hear. If I put all my passwords in one place, Aren't I just creating one giant target?
And that is the core myth we have to debunk.
Right.
The analogy is just wrong. Having weak passwords on sticky notes or in a spreadsheet, that's like hiding your money under a bunch of different rocks in your backyard. A thief just has to turn over a few rocks.
Whereas the password manager is...
The password manager is a custom-built titanium bank vault with military-grade security. Yes, everything is in one place, but that one place is millions of times more secure than all the scattered weak spots combined.
And the technology that makes that vault so secure is called zero-knowledge encryption. Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely. The simplest way to think about it is like a safety deposit box. The bank provides the box, the vault, but they don't have your key. They can't open it.
Okay.
Your data is encrypted on your computer before it ever gets sent to the password manager's servers. The only thing that can decrypt it is your one master password, which only you know.
So even if the company itself got hacked, the attackers would just find a bunch of useless, scrambled data.
That's it exactly. It's just gibberish without your personal master key.
So that brings up a really practical question. What if I forget my master password? Can the company help me get back in?
That's a great question. And the answer is no, they can't. That's both the strength and the responsibility of zero knowledge.
So you really have to protect that one password.
You do. But for business accounts, they have recovery options built in. You can designate other administrators on your team who can help a user recover their account, but they can never recover the main overall vault. It forces you to treat that key with the respect it deserves.
Okay, that makes sense. So the manager is the vault, but what about securing the door to the vault?
That's where multi-factor authentication, or MFA, comes in. Passwords alone just aren't enough anymore.
Right, that's the little code you get on your phone.
Exactly. It's that second layer of proof. A code, a tap from an app, a fingerprint. And the data on this is so clear.
The sources show that just by implementing MFA, you reduce the success of phishing attacks by 90%.
A massive 90%. When you think about that $3,000 grant, this combination password manager plus MFA is probably the single best security investment you can make.
And we should probably mention passkeys quickly. They're becoming more common.
Yeah, modern managers are now supporting them. They're a newer method that's even more secure. Instead of a password you can steal, it's a cryptographic key tied to your device. You can't be tricked into giving it away in a phishing email. It's a fantastic development.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about teams. For most New Brunswick small businesses, we're talking maybe 5, 10, 20 people. Just telling everyone to be responsible for their own passwords is a huge risk.
It's a massive business continuity risk. We call it the siloed account problem.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about your key accounts, your social media, your accounting software, your main supplier portal. What if the one person who knows that password leaves suddenly?
Right, they get sick, they quit, they win the lottery.
And suddenly, your business is completely locked out of a critical system. You can't run ads, you can't pay your bills. It can grind operations to a halt.
That's a nightmare scenario for a small business. So how does a team password manager fix that?
Through what they call shared vaults or collections. This is the real game changer.
So you can group passwords by role, like a marketing vault and a finance vault.
Exactly. The business owner can give employees access to the logins they need, but, and this is key, the employee never actually sees the password in plain text. The manager just fills it in for them.
So you're sharing access, not secrets.
You've got it. That simplifies things hugely, especially for employee onboarding and offboarding.
Let's talk about that. Offboarding seems like it's always a mess.
It's where things fall through the cracks. Studies show that something like 32% of ex-employees still have access to company systems after they leave. It's a huge liability.
But with a manager?
With a team manager, the second an employee is offboarded, you click one button, and their access to every single shared password is instantly revoked. Centralized, clean, and secure.
And beyond just managing staff, these tools also have a kind of intelligence built in. Proactive monitoring.
Yes, tools often called Watchtower or a password health report. Think of it as an early warning system.
So scans for problems.
It automatically scans everyone's passwords and flags any that are weak or reused or have been found in a known data breach on the dark web. It lets you fix a problem before it can be exploited.
This all sounds like critical infrastructure, but I know a lot of business owners are thinking about the cost and the time to set it all up.
And that's why we have to talk about the CyberSecure NB program. It's a fantastic opportunity designed to solve exactly that problem.
Right. It's a one-time grant funded by the Canadian government.
And it fully reimburses eligible cybersecurity services up to $3,000.
The deadline is key here. It's only available until March 31st, 2026. This isn't a program that's going to be around forever.
And it's important to know how it's run. The program is coordinated by the CBDC, the Community Business Development Corporation. They're the ones who review your application and approve your eligibility before any work starts.
So you know you're covered before you commit to anything.
Exactly.
And the eligibility is pretty straightforward, right?
Very. You have to be a for-profit business, registered and headquartered here in New Brunswick, and have had at least $30,000 in annual revenue in your last tax year.
And ClavardIA's work, implementing a password manager and MFA, that falls squarely into what the grant covers.
Yes, the full setup, the integration, policy help, employee education, it's all an eligible project.
Now let's be really clear on the costs for a moment. The grant covers the setup and implementation from ClavardIA up to that $3,000 limit.
That's right. But any ongoing subscription costs for the software itself, if there are any, are the responsibility of the business.
So what does that look like typically?
It scales with you. For a really small team, maybe 1 or 2 people, a free password manager is often totally fine.
But for 3 or more, when you need that secure sharing.
Then you'll want a team or business plan. And those typically cost, in Canada, just over $5 per user per month. It's a very manageable operational expense for the security and peace of mind it gives you.
So when we look back at everything we've discussed, what's the simple recipe for resilience here?
It's a 3-part recipe. A professional password manager, plus multi-factor authentication everywhere you can use it, plus consistent employee training. That combination handles the vast majority of threats facing a small business today.
For a final thought, let's touch on how security thinking has really changed. We all grew up with the idea that you have to change your password every 90 days.
Right, and we all hated it. And what the big government security agencies found was that it actually made security worse.
How so?
Because it forced people into creating weak, predictable patterns. They'd just change summer 2023 to fall 2023, or add a 2 at the end. It made them easier to guess.
So what's the new, smarter strategy that a password manager makes possible?
The new focus is all about favoring length over complexity and getting rid of those frustrating expiry dates.
So a longer, random passphrase is better than a short, complex one you have to change all the time.
Infinitely better. A password manager can create and remember a 25-character random passphrase for every site. It's virtually uncrackable, and since your team never has to type it, it actually improves their experience.
That's the key, isn't it? Better security and a better user experience working together.
Don't wait to become one of those statistics. Use the CyberSecure NB grant to get this foundational piece in place now so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.